Greetings everyone, DFG coming to you from the graveyard. Hope you guys are having a great day. Hey guys, I just want to take a minute at a time. It's going to be a real short video. And this video is going to be titled, Kyrie Irving has gone and did it. Now you might ask me, who is Kyrie Irving? Well, Kyrie Irving is the point guard for the Boston Celtics basketball team up here in New England. Well, guess what Kyrie Irving did yesterday? Kyrie Irving had the whole country, the whole world recognize that he is a Sioux Native American. Uh-oh. Now, you've been hearing me say for a while that I am not an African American. You've heard me say that my family are Shawnee. But you've heard me say that over and over, I'm not an African American. Yet, we're constantly in this fight with other people of color who insist on the slave narrative. We came here on slave ships. Our forefathers came here as slaves. Yet none of them look like Africans to me. Now, I've seen what an African looks like. Okay? And I know what an African looks like. And he doesn't look like this. I'm not talking about skin color, pigmentation. That's like calling a Japanese and a Filipino the same damn people. They'll correct you, no we're not. It has nothing to do with the yellow skin. It has to do with origin. African Americans. And that's who I'm talking to right now. I'm talking to you. Nobody else but you. At some point, oh, see that? See how slick you are? So-called African Americans. I'm talking to you. And I'm telling you right now, before you can ever begin to demand respect from your own people, forget, the broader communities, whites and etc. Till you can identify through your own people, till you can learn how to build and respect with your own people, till you're able to identify who you are. You're still being sold on a narrative that you learned in the history books at your school, who talked about founding fathers and all of their charades. And I don't disrespect those guys, but it was a lot of charades, a lot of skullduggery, for lack of a better word. But you, so-called African American, until you know who you are, don't expect anybody to respect you. If you're going to let me teach you your history, then you are who I say you are. A man who doesn't know who he is a prisoner and always going to be subjected to a man who knows who they are or who he is. This you can understand, you should believe it. One of the things that before any organization, group of people, ethnic group of people, can begin to build and to grow, you have to get educated. Right now, we got too many people walking around, and I want to encourage you. We got to be encouraging, and we got to empower so-called black people. Well, you can't get encouraged and empowered with stupidity and ignorance. So I'm supposed to encourage your ignorance? I'm supposed to encourage your stupidity? First things first. We talked about the 3 E's the other day. First, you got to get educated. First, you got to learn about who you are, and what you're supposed to be doing. And once I educate you, then yes, I can encourage you. And then I can empower you. But until then, that's the old saying, you're pissing in the wind. Excuse me. That's what's going on here. And I'm going to say it to you again and again and again until you get sick and tired of me saying this to you. The majority of so-called African Americans here in America, which was Turtle Island before it was America, are the Native Americans. You are native to this land. This is your land. This is your country. Always has been. You're not African. The Africans will tell you that. And then, I'm going to tell you something. I've seen my grandparents. And now, guess what my grandparents look like? Me. So if my grandparents look like me 2 generations above, who do you think my grandparents look like? Me. And you can just extrapolate that as far as you want to go. And you might say, well, Dale, why are you making a big... It is a big issue. Because if people that don't know where they've been, they don't know where they're going. Those who don't know their past are doomed to continue to repeat it. Our past is a lie. It's a slave narrative lie. And as long as you think that you're a slave or you're from descendants of slaves, Africans across the Atlantic some damn where, you're never going to take responsibility for what you should be taking responsibility. And that is your home, your land, your country. So here's what I'm saying to you. Trying to empower someone and trying to encourage someone in ignorance is just sheer buffoonery. It's ignorance personified. It's like someone who wants to swim and they go jump in some deep water, don't know the first thing about swimming. And you're encouraging them, come on, swim, you could do it. Come on, swim, you could do it. You know, you better hope somebody empower your ass by throwing your life vest in there. Because if not, you're going to go down 3 times. And we already know what happens the 4th time. The 4th time you come over here and sit over here with Dale. Kyrie Irving, man, you done gone and done it. But I'm glad you did. Brother, you took a stand. You didn't let somebody call you out of your name, call you something that you're not and you shouldn't have. But I appreciate that. I respect that about you and about every other person who's willing to be honest about themselves, including European Americans. African Americans in this country are the Native Americans. And you need to be okay with that. You need to accept that. And if you owe them something or something you need to be doing right by them, you need to do that as well. Or at least petition your government to do what's right by them. As you would with the Jews, with the Holocaust and retribution, the reparations, the Japanese with the internment camps in World War II with reparations. Same thing with the Native Americans here. And I'm not talking about them, the red ones, who are mongoloids mixed with something else from, the Caucasus Mountains or somewhere, beyond the borders of Turtle Island. All right? Again, black people, wake up. So-called African Americans, are you an African? Thank you for listening. Coming to you from the cemetery. Hope you subscribe. And I'll talk to you next time. Love you. Peace.